pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Welcome to the Finger Lakes region of Central New York and the Watkins Glen International Speedway and the ReSURGEnce Xfinity Series. Tony Trapasso up at the booth with you. Joining me by my partner in crime, Mr. Jonathan Leach, on the ones and twos. I'll bring the production truck tonight. And cars starting to grid up right now. Ryan Andrews setting quick time in qualifying. Chris Worrell starting outside row number 1. Pat Clapp and Toll Owens going to be rolling off in row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Austin Collins, Jackson Gleason, Danny Wells, and Nick Wing going to roll off in row number 4. A starting shotgun on the field, all by his lonesome, is going to be the 54 of Liam Ervig. As we only had 5 cars take time in qualifying, Gleason, Wells, Wing, and Ervig are all lined up via their I rating. So as the field starting to form up, just waiting on one straggler right now. As relatively short field here tonight. And for those of you who have been paying attention, the reason why Watkins Glen and Talladega got swapped on the schedule was so that we could have a bigger field at Dega, being as we were already going to probably have a short field here tonight, as cars starting to roll out behind the Porsche Cayenne pace car right now. Nick Wing electing to pit start. So he might know something we don't know, as we are going to see no cautions here tonight. 65% fuel fill, 6 sets of tires, go 45 laps. And these guys have 2 fast repairs in their pocket. So it's going to be kind of interesting here on the 8-turn road course, if you want to call it that. The way I've always looked at this is it's kind of a reverse oval with one true left-hand turn on the track. And then, of course, is turn number 7. Field working his way up through the S's right now. Andrews in the 88 and Chris Worrell in the 6. Both were 2 of the cars to beat during the practice session. No big surprise here as Pat Clapp sitting third quick after qualifying. A quick rundown of the current point situation. Chris Worrell with 3 wins on the season so far and an average finish of 5. Currently sitting 18 points to the clear of Austin Collins. Collins, though, going to be restarting in row number 3. Pat Clapp currently sits third in points, only about 6 points back from Collins. So the top 3 starting to really stretch their legs right now. And we're kind of doing the quick math that with this being a traditional points battle, there's going to be no chase format. There's going to be no playoffs. It's just accumulate points and call it good. Worrell could make something happen over the next couple of races here. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the pace car, as it had just gone off track. So apparently our pace driver has been drinking again. Field working its way down the short chute, leading into turn number 7. Again, the only true left-hand corner on the track, the penultimate corner, if you will. Andrew's going to have Ryan Andrew going to have the button as they come out of turn number 8. Pace car is going to peel on off and go down pit road. And again, no scheduled cautions here tonight. They're just going to race it out and let the chips fall where they may. Pace car is in. Flagman has the flag in his hand. Green flag is out, and we are underway here at the Glen. Worrell on the outside lane, getting a great jumping into the lead. And I'm thinking Andrew may have just let him go. But the battle right now hot and heavy for third between Pat Clapp and Toll Owens, as those two guys are in lockstep right now. Clapp able to get about a car length lead over Owens as they come up through the S's. Worrell about 3 car lengths to the good over Andrew. That's your battle for the lead as they come down the back straightaway here at the Glen and into the ever dangerous bus stop. And just kind of biding their time. Worrell may have gotten a corner cut there, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that as he did dip 2 into the grass. Doesn't look to be affecting him at all right now, though. As the two guys at the front of this thing, Worrell in the 6 and Andrew in the 88, they're already a second and a half to the good over that what was a battle for third. Pat Clapp wrestling it away from Toll Owens. Austin Collins seems to be struggling right now, who's currently a second in points. Mired in 5th, about a second and a half off of Owens, who's about half a second back off of Clapp. So field started to get a little bit strung out, except up here at the front of this piece, as Andrew's able to get the draft going into turn 1 on Worrell as they come out of turn number 1 and up through the S's for the second time tonight. Still in lockstep. They were like this during the practice session as well, as right now Andrew with a head of steam, able to use that draft coming up through the S's. Thinking about possibly making a dive move going into the bus stop as they head into there one more time. Worrell able to maintain some good pace going through there. Andrew knowing it's way too early to be pushing the envelope, but he is right on Worrell's back bumper as they come through the carousel. Down the short chute leading into turn number 7. Worrell, Andrew, Clapp, Owens, Collins, your top 5 right now. Liam Mervig has already gone up 3 positions as he's currently running in the 6th spot. Nick Wing apparently did not start here tonight, so just getting his show-up points as, again, relatively short field, only 9 cars taking to the hauler garage when the event opened. Brian Andrews is setting the quickest lap of the race so far with a 13.99. First one to go sub 14 tonight in the race. Let's see what happens as they start to burn some more fuel off. Up through the S's again for Worrell and Andrew, still in lockstep. And this is your closest battle on track. Everything else is 3/4 of a second or more of a gap between drivers. Through the S's, or through the bus stop they go. Nice tidy lines for both of them. Andrew giving up just a little bit of ground through the bus stop, makes it up through the carousel as they come down the short chute one more time and point it towards turn 7. Want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. And if you're in the chat, let us know who you're pulling for. You know, are you pulling for Worrell to stretch that points lead? Are you looking for Andrew to knock him down a peg? You know, who you're riding with tonight, folks. Let us know. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action here on the ESPN Family Broadcast. As we have action coming up this week. The ISNF Cup Series tomorrow, followed by Monday night we have the Maestro's ARCA Series. It's a 5:30 start time for the ISNF Cup Series on Sunday. Monday, the Maestro's ARCA Series. That rolls off at 8:05 Eastern Time. And then Tuesday, do you like truck racing? I like truck racing. As we have a doubleheader of truck racing with the Rick Motek Truck Series rolling off at 8:05, followed by the nightcap of the Western States Racing League as they go to round number 3 of season 46. And that is a 10:05 start time for that one on Tuesday. As the battle's starting to heat up again for third place between Pat Clapp and Toll Owens. Owens has reeled Clapp in as they come down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Downhill off camber. It's not a fun corner if you get it wrong, as Clapp going to drop 2 off the far side of the banking, or of the rumble strips, as going to start to pull a gap. As we got a battle for the lead. Andrews and Worrell side by side going into the bus stop. Give it to Andrews. Just full send it mode for the 88 tonight. Worrell going to have to regroup and try to figure out how to get back by the 88. Again, as they work their way down the short chute leading to turn number 7. It's like Liam Ervig is closing in on Austin Collins. That's your battle for 5th. Ervig in the 54, Collins in that Duracell number 98. Just picking him up and laying him down tonight. Beautiful car. I love the way they did the chrome mapping on the nose of that Duracell number 98. But Andrews just resets the quickest lap of the race. Again, only one to go sub 114s here tonight, as he goes 13.92. Worrell kind of just dropping back a little bit, letting his tires cool off. He was going hard. He's already got the bonus point for leading the lap here tonight. And he knows he doesn't need to win the race, but just needs to have a good points showing. But we all know Chris Worrell from the other leagues that we have broadcasted him in. If he can win the race, he's going to win the race. But he's not one to push the envelope and put his car in a bad situation. As the battle for 5th, still hot and heavy between Collins and Ervig. Ervig slips up going through the carousel. That's going to give Collins a little bit of breathing room as they come down the short chute, leading to turn number 7. Again, this is your closest battle on track, your battle for 5th between Collins and Ervig. Coming into the final corner, down the front straightaway. Ervig a little bit sideways, caught a little too much of those rumble strips on inside of the corner. That's going to give Collins a little bit more breathing room as they come down the front chute. Down the hill into turn number 1 they go, as Ervig not using all the track going through turn 1. Didn't want to dive it down in there going into 1, as Collins did put 2 on the rumble strip to kind of help that car turn. And that's something you can do if you're suffering with a tight condition in the car where the front just doesn't want to turn. Just put 2 tires on that rumble strip. I guarantee you it's going to want to turn on you whether you want it to or not. Down the back straightaway they come. Again, battle for 5th right now. Collins has it. Ervig wants it. Ervig sends it going into the bus stop. Has to check up. That's going to give Collins a little bit more breathing room as they come through the carousel. Nice tidy line for Austin Collins in the number 98. Ervig currently having some problems. And I'm thinking he may have just pushed a little too hard, a little too soon. And he might be having tire issues already. Again, 65% fuel fill. So I would dare say 10 to 15 laps on a fuel run. But they're going to be begging for tires before they run out of fuel here tonight at the Glen. Battle for 3rd starting to heat up again as Toll Owens has reeled in Pat Clapp one more time as they come up through the S's. That's Clapp in the 65. Owens in the black and blue Chevy 09. Down the back straightaway they come. Owens in the slipstream of Clapp as they haul it off into the bus stop. Both of them tiptoeing through there, using all that curbing to help get that car to turn. Nice, tidy line for both drivers, as Owens looks like he might be trying to push it a little too hard through the right-hander. And big slide for Clapp coming out of the carousel. That's going to let Owens get right back on his back bumper. Owens backs out early, not wanting to push the issue this early in the event, as we are currently getting ready to start lap 9. The leaders have already taken to start lap 9. With Andrews, Worrell, Clapp, Owens, Collins, your top 5 as they currently sit. Clapp and Owens continue this rivalry for the number 3 spot. Owens had some connection issues early, so he wasn't able to really lay one down in the practice session. Clapp, though, gets a real good drive up the hill coming through the S's. It's going to give himself a little bit of breathing room over Owens, as everybody is about a half a second separation or more. There's a 3.5 second gap between Ryan Andrew, who's leading this piece, and your current points leader, Chris Worrell, who sits in second. 3.5 seconds to the good for Andrews. And then you're another almost 7 seconds back to that battle for third between Clapp and Owen. Then you're another 8 seconds back to the battle between Collins and Ervig. 12 seconds back to Danny Wells, and another 36 seconds back to Jackson Gleason in the 33. Again, those are the only 8 cars that did take the green flag. So I dare say Gleason in danger within the next handful of laps of going a lap down, as he is not having a good time of it right now, as he's bringing it down the back straightaway and into the bus stop. Compare that to where Andrews is running, as he's now just entering the bus stop. So with these guys turning minute 14-ish laps, we're getting ready to put 10 laps in the books. Jackson Gleason's probably going to want to pick the pace up a little bit if he can. Again, no cautions scheduled here tonight. We're not going to see a competition caution to bunch the field back up. And if I'm looking properly here, and I believe I am, there is a ton of damage on the 33 of Gleason. And I don't think he realizes just how tweaked that car is. As he lets off down the front straightaway, he's going to let that battle for the lead get by him. There goes second place, and he's going to be able to slot back in behind Worrell as they haul it off into turn number 1. Worrell sends it real wide coming out of turn number 1, using up all of that runoff area, doing what he can to try to reel in Ryan Andrew, as the gap is now 4.4 seconds. And all the battles that we were seeing earlier on have kind of pittered out right now, as your closest battle on track is between Pat Clapp and Toll Owens, and that's a half a second gap between those two. Works out to about 5 car lengths separating Clapp from Owen. As they come through the carousel one more time, down the short chute leading into turn number 7, Owens runs it wide right at the exit to the boot. And, you know, that's something I'd love to see. Most full-fendered stock car leagues that we do, they always run the traditional course that the real-world NASCAR guys run. Impress me sometime. From the boot. With a standing start. I'd love to see what would happen. But, yeah, Ryan Andrew in control of this one right now, as just a monster gap right now opening up 5.6 seconds, 5.06 seconds to the good over Chris Worrell, your points leader. And Worrell, admittedly not a road course ringer, but all things considered, you got to love what he's doing right now. Currently running a very strong second, not overdriving the car, and knows he doesn't need to win tonight. He just needs to put in a good points night. So as we are getting ready to put lap number 12 in the books, Andrew crosses the line to start lap 13. So again, just checking in with those of you in the chat right now. I want to thank y'all for watching. Again, let us know who you're pulling for. Are you who you riding with tonight? And Ryan Andrew right now with a 5 3/4 second gap over your points leader Chris Worrell. Worrell with a 9-second gap over the battle for second between Pat Clapp and Toll Owens. Clapp almost a full second to the good over Owens right now. Liam Ervig has gotten into fifth as he's gotten by Austin Collins, and now has roughly a 4.5 second gap over your second place in points. Eight cars only taking the green tonight as Nick Wing deciding, yeah, you know what, I don't need the headache of turning rights and lefts. So I'm just going to take my show-up points, so taking the, relatively speaking, taking them provisional. As Jackson Gleason, the only car one lap or more down currently, though there are quite a few that are ever so quickly getting into danger, as Liam Irving going to be the first one to blink to come down for some fresh rubber on the number 54. So currently working lap 14 of 45. And I dare say that you should be able to make this a two-stop race at this point. And I think Irving missed his pit box. Because he straight up did not stop. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 4 in fuel for Irving. Just my SDK decided not to play nicely with me. And Worrell's in. And we're looking roughly 48, 49 seconds from cone to cone as Clapp and Owen flash by. Worrell into his pit box there. So it looks like 4 in fuel for your points leader, as it's going to drop him to 5th. And that battle for second starting to heat up now between Clapp and Owen as they come through the bus stop and into the carousel. Owen keeping a nice tidy line right on the curbing as Clapp tries a different line. Owen gets a better drive out of the corner, looks down the inside going into turn number 7, thinks better of it, backs on out of it early. But lets Clapp know, hey, you do that again, I'm going to pass you. So now the question is, with the tire fall off being right around 2 seconds, is Clapp, that almost ended poorly. As Clapp went wide coming out of 8, Owens dropped to the inside of him, and Clapp was trying to come down pit road and he didn't signal. So that could have ended very poorly as again, we're looking at about a 2-second fall off over 15 or so laps. As Austin Collins bringing it in now. Worrell back up into third. Andrew still has to come down pit road. Toll Owens has to come down pit road. Liam Irving has already come down. Jackson Gleason still needs to come down. So half the field has come down pit road. The other half has not yet. So, and I got to respect the pit stops that Worrell and Clapp both had. 46 seconds cone to cone. That's pushing the envelope, especially considering that, it's very easy to get popped for speeding on the pit road here, considering that there is a downhill section. So you really have to be mindful of your speed. Ryan Andrew, though, right now, 18 and a half seconds to the good. Sorry, 23 seconds to the good. Good grief. And Chris Worrell just reset the quickest lap of the race with a 1:13.83. So you got to wonder how much longer Ryan Andrews is going to stay out. He's got to stop that hemorrhaging, because Worrell right now is on a tear. Currently working lap 17, getting ready to start lap 18 of 45. Again, 6 sets of tires that these guys are going to have to get through this race tonight. Should not be an issue. The biggest issue is going to be, though, the fact that they only have a 65% fuel fill. So we're looking right around 15 laps for a tank of Go Fast here tonight. Ryan Andrew just set his worst lap of the event with a 1:16.96. He's going to have to come pit side real quick here. As he is just coming through some lap traffic right there. And Clapp is in. Again. Why? Excellent question. Let's find out. And there is heavy damage on the 65. Clapp has hit something somewhere. So unscheduled pit stop for the Busch, number 65. Completely missing the nose piece of that car. Going to have to burn a fast repair here. And he's going to put a new set of shoes on that thing while he's at it. Ryan Andrew continues to show the way, but for how much longer is the big question, as he and Toll Owens are the only two that have not yet come down pit road. And I was probably thinking right when I said that you're going to run out of tires before you run out of fuel. As right now, Andrew getting ready to start lap 20. Everybody else came down around lap 15. So, looks possibly like Andrew could be trying to do this in a one-stop strategy. Toll Owens appears to be on the same strategy. The only thing is I don't know how well that's going to work for him, because the last lap for both of them were 117s. And you compare that with Worrell doing a 114.19. Irving did a 115.9. So about 2 seconds arrears, almost 3 seconds over the guys that have already come pit side. Andrews, Owens, Worrell, Irving, your 4 cars that are on the lead lap still. Austin Collins, the first car 1 or more laps down, currently running in the 5th position. And Andrews stays out to do another lap. I don't know how good of an idea that is. Those tires have got to be right down to the cords right now. And we are definitely going to be asking him this if he does manage to keep it on the podium. Whether or not he was down to the cords when he finally did come in for his first pit stop. .22.5 seconds to the good over the 09 of Toll Owens, as Owens is also hemorrhaging time to the 6 of Worrell. As welcome to road racing, folks. And as Ryan Andrew finally brings it pit side, we are going to step away and pay some bills. And we are back at the Glen. Chris Worrell with a 10-second gap back to Ryan Andrew. Those two have been the class of the field all night long as we're currently working lap 28 of 45. Toll Owens is another 30 seconds behind Andrew. And then you're another 12 seconds back to your fourth place driver, Liam Irving. Austin Collins, the last car on the lead lap, 9 seconds back, almost 10 seconds back now from Irving. As Danny Wells has decided to put it on the hauler, called no moss in the 31. That's going to move Jackson Gleason up into 7th. Pat Clapp currently sits in 6th. Not the night the 65 was hoping for, as he had all sorts of damage on the nose of that car just before we went to break. Worrell bringing it into the final corner one more time. Getting ready to put 28 laps in the books. And he has just been on a tear in that Balsgarana Cherry's Toyota Supra tonight. As, again, Jonathan, we were talking before the race and just doing the quick, high-powered gazintas. We figured that good finish here tonight, a good finish next week, and the championship could be pretty well clinched for Worrell.
Well, it's that's certainly how it seems to be sounding at this time. I mean, the race that I participated in last week, he was excellent on track. Then the last race that you and I called together, he was excellent there as well. And I mean, its consistency is key, and not to take away from some of these other drivers here, but he just kind of seems like he's the most serious driver out of all of them here. Everybody else seems to be kind of here just for the fun of things, and like you mentioned before, we know Worrell from a bunch of other leagues, and so he's consistently improving day in and day out. And that just might be the difference here between him and the rest of the drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking a quick look at the point standings right now. 3 wins, average finish of 5th. Currently sitting at 186 points. Second place, Austin Collins, who currently is running 5th on track right now. Average finish of 6th at 158 points. And Pat Clapp, who is not having the night he was hoping for after having that issue with the caught a barrier earlier in the 65. His 3rd place in points coming into tonight. Average finish of 7th. No wins for Collins or Clapp yet, as Clapp currently sitting with 152 points. So only a 6-point gap separate Collins and Clapp right now, as that should climb just a little bit, considering that Collins is in 5th and Clapp is in 6th. And I think we just lost Jonathan again.
Oh, no, I'm here. I got things a little bit louder than anticipated, so I had to adjust my sound down a little bit so that we're not screaming at the handful of viewers that we have currently and these drivers when they come back around.
Yeah,
I was quite a bit louder than you are, and I just had to fix that briefly real quick.
Fair enough. As Liam Irving and Austin Collins and Pat Clapp all bringing it pit side for what should be their money stop. And we've seen Clapp down pit road twice already, as, that's mildly dangerous, as Chris Worrell coming up through the S's does have a little bit of a blink going on. And that just happened to coincide with Irving, Collins, and Clapp all getting their what should be final set of tires here tonight. As Clapp slides through his pit box, has to back up. And Worrell has stretched that lead out to 12.5 seconds over Ryan Andrew.
Yeah, with 15 laps to go, Tony, I'm pretty sure this track. New tires could potentially catch him. However, I haven't seen anybody else with the consistency aside from Andrew that could possibly catch Worrell. But at this point, I also think he's going to need some help from Worrell. Worrell just doesn't make any mistakes. Everything is smooth. He doesn't overdrive any of the corners, and you can see that right here coming into turn number 1, just really smooth on the brakes right here. easy turns in. It just doesn't even look like he's fighting anything at all, period. He just gets right back in the throttle nice and smooth, comes up through the S-turns, and I mean, that's what it takes. I'm sure if we watch another driver coming through that final turn there, we're going to see somebody else locking the brakes just a touch more, and that's really the difference right now. So we can follow Tal Owen, who's got Liam Ervig right behind him. Let's watch them come into turn number 1, and that might kind of explain the difference or the gap between these drivers.
Well, here's the other thing to keep in mind too. The last time that Worrell was down pit road was on lap 14. Andrew was down on lap 21. So I don't think Worrell can make it from here on fuel.
Probably not. And, you know what? Kudos to Owens and Ervig. They both got through turn number 1 really clean. However, a lot of times that's much harder to do. And typical Watkins Glen first couple laps here, especially with drivers that are a little bit inexperienced, they tend to overdrive the corner, which can cause a big pileup. So good job right there for those two guys getting through there just fine. But I mean, that's really the difference. And Andrew has cut the lead down by about a second now. See a little bit of a wiggle right there with Chris Worrell. But 13 laps to go. He's really going to have to cut the time down some more. And then, like you mentioned, you don't know if he can make it to the end. 65% fuel from lap 14. I don't think he can make it. But Andrew, lap 21. I don't know if he can. He might be able to make it, but I don't think Worrell is going to be able to. But with this 11-second gap, he's only going to need to take a splash, and he ought to be able to get back out in front of Andrews. And so I don't anticipate he's going to be on track for too much longer, that being said.
But the problem that you're going to run into, and we saw it earlier when Worrell went in, got the fresh shoes put on his car, that's where this lead came from. Because Andrew stayed out 7 laps later, he and Owens both did, and Worrell's bringing it pit side this time, looks like. But because they stayed out 7 seconds later, that's where that 12-second gap came from for the most part, because Worrell was able to get in, get the fresh shoes, and crank off, 2 and 3 seconds a lap quicker as Andrew flashes by to retake the lead. I don't think Cole Owens is going to be able to catch Worrell with it being a 46-second pit delta from cone to cone.
No, probably not in this situation. I actually expected that Worrell wasn't going to lose quite as much time as he is, or is going to Andrew, but he's going to lose a ton of time, about 25 seconds to Andrew right there. That's my mistake. For some reason, I didn't think pit road took quite that long here. It's been a little bit since I ran the course. But, yeah, so now we got a 24-second gap between Andrew and Worrell, and I don't believe Andrew's going to have to pit. I really don't. 45 laps, 21 to 45. I think that's well within the 65% of fuel cell that they're running. I think Andrew's just going to run smooth, and he's going to finish this race out.
Well, we're already sitting at... Well, here's the thing. He went 21 laps on the first tank of fuel, but those tires were really giving up the ghost. Whereas Worrell took 4 in fuel now. He can just hammer down and just start to reel off lap times that are going to be ridiculous. As, Andrew, he's still not dropping too badly yet. About a 2-second fall off currently, but we saw that get down to about 4 seconds.
Well, and for Chris Worrell to catch him, he's going to have to gain more than 2 seconds a lap. And we'll see what he can do here in just a couple moments, but I'm not expecting that to be the case. I don't think he's going to be able to get there. In fact, we'll populate this to the last lap times right here. And we'll be able to see here when the ticker scrolls back around where he's at. So Worrell just had a 127 and a 139 on his pit in and pit out laps, which that's not going to help him. Andrew's still running 127. So next time it comes around, we'll see if Worrell's actually got an opportunity here to potentially catch him. Real smooth right there through the bus stop for Worrell, but we're not going to know for a couple moments.
Well, he's got a good lap going. As I've got him green through the first sector as he brings it down the short chute, leading to turn number 7. The penultimate corner here at the Cup layout at the Glen.
He's picked up about a second and a half so far.
Yeah. So I would expect this lap time to be somewhere in the 113 range.
Well, he's gonna have to he's gonna have to put down 113 for the rest of this race to give himself a shot. Yeah, 113.63 right there.
Wow. Quickest lap of the event.
That's what it's gonna take. He's gonna have to take 2 seconds off a lap to give himself an opportunity. And I don't know if he can keep that pace up for 10 laps, but we're gonna see. I mean, anything can happen. Andrew can overdrive the corner just a bit, end up in the grass, and that can cost you 2-3 seconds really quickly. And if something like that happens over the next 10 laps, the whole complexion of the race could change in a moment.
Something just happened to Austin Collins.
He's pretty beat up. Let's see if I can find out here. We're gonna back it up real quick. Duracell. Yeah, I think there's a combination there of using the brake at the wrong time, getting on the throttle a little bit too quickly right there. You don't see that in the Cup cars very often, as he pretty much gets right in the way of Worrell.
Watch till the end of that one.
No, we're still following it right here as Worrell got by him a couple moments ago. So through the S turns.
You're a lap later than you need to be. Or a lap earlier than you need to be, I should say. He was coming through turn 1, lost it on the curbing, spun the car around, went to go correct the car, and Pat Clapp caught a race car to the face.
Oh yeah, we got this on screen right now. Oh man. Oh, that's very frustrating.
That's the second time something like that has happened tonight to Patrick Clapp, and it's probably going to jeepers.
I'm sorry, folks. You're just gonna have to bear with Tony and I. These road courses they're really not exhilarating or super exciting when you have a 10 to like a 5 to 15 car field. Guys get spread out like they are right now, so we're just kind of talking and trying to work things through as they happen. So bear with us on that. Frank will be back next week with Tony. Things will be awfully exciting then. Different racetrack, more drivers, better broadcasting duo. Should be a lot of fun. I'll be looking forward to that one personally.
And we are going to go to the Windy City next week and Chicagoland Speedway.
Chicagoland Speedway. That's going to be a fun racetrack in the Xfinity cars. It's going to drive a little bit differently. They're going to be really tight based on the design. And I think you're going to see a lot of guys kind of overdrive the corner. And I think you're going to see a bunch of cars slapping the entrance and turns 1 and turns 3.
It's very easy to burn the right front off the car at Chicagoland, as yet again, Worrell has cut that lead immensely. Is almost 3 full seconds to the good.
Yeah, he's gonna have to keep this at least 2 seconds faster a lap, and he's got time to do it. 7 laps to go, down to under 16 seconds back. If he can keep tires on this machine, he might just get there. See, it wasn't quite 2 seconds faster that time, and he's really going to need to be 2 seconds faster per lap if he's going to get there. And then getting there is one thing, and it's looking like if he does get there, it's going to be on the last lap. And will he have enough to potentially pass Ryan Andrew on the last lap after running as hard as he could right now to get there?
Well, it depends on how nice Liam Irving decides to be to him as they come through the carousel. Looks like Irving going to go to the wide side and give plenty of room to Worrell, who's on a tear right now, as those two Supras in lockstep. Irving sitting in fourth, now 1 lap down. Up 5 spots from where he started, so pretty impressive run for Liam, as Pat Clapp goes back down pit road. I'm thinking he's already burned both his fast repairs here tonight.
I figure we saw earlier damage with them when you were just kind of calling this on your own, and then obviously when he just basically had his nose taken off, or excuse me, he ran into another car. Just kind of unfortunate, a little bit of awareness right there, and I mean this is sometimes being a sim as opposed to real life. You can kind of get Liam right there getting super loose, hangs on to it. But being a sim, you kind of lose a little bit of that awareness. You're not quite thinking about what's coming up. And when you're running like on track by yourself, you end up thinking you have a whole lot more room from you to the next driver than you really do. And
Yeah.
I believe that played a role into what happened right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I dare say Patrick Clapp is going to drop out of the top 3 in points after tonight, as Irving currently sits in the number 4 spot. He was 4th in points coming into tonight, so Collins should stay in the top 3, as he's currently running 5th, but Clapp is most likely going to drop out of the top 3. So points race still hot and heavy, even though Chris Worrell is kind of stinking up the show from that aspect. But let's see what this last lap time was.
Liam down pit road.
Liam Irving is in. Looks like he's not happy with his tire selection currently. But the gap is still coming down, though we are running out of time as we are 5 laps to go. Ryan Andrews with currently a 13.5-second lead over your points leader, Chris Worrell. So again, Worrell does not have to win the race tonight to extend that points lead, but he just needs a good points night, as he has led quite a few laps here. So there is a bonus point in play for that.
And not quite as smooth through the bus stop that time for Worrell. Those last few times, you can tell the tires are starting to wear out. He's getting a little bit squirrelier. The rear end of that machine, the Super, is starting to step out on him a little bit more. And that 1 to 1.2 second advantage per lap is not going to be enough to catch Andrew with 4 laps to go. He's going to try. He's going to need a little bit of help from Andrew. I don't expect him to get it. Andrew's just going to continue to run really, really smooth like we've seen all day. And I don't think we'll get there. I think he's going to have to settle for second. Fought really hard, gave it a good go, but I don't think he's going to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, that's going to be the case, as I believe the 09 at Cole Owens will go a lap down, most likely before the end of the race, as he's currently 1 minute and 5 seconds behind your current leader, Ryan Andrew in the 88, as he's bringing it through the bus stop right now. And Andrew's just pit strategy paid off tonight for the 88. Was able to stretch that first tank of fuel as far as it could go. Should be able to make it to the finish line from here, as we are going to be 3 to go this time across the stripe as he comes through the penultimate corner. Worrell got the gap down to under 12 seconds. And am I hearing things, or is Andrew clutching?
I can't tell. I don't really have the ability to listen to that the way you do, considering how we do our broadcasting, our productions here. I can't really tell on that for you.
Well, I did put a GoPro on his helmet. And I labeled it cockpit on your board. Oh yeah, he's backing off way early. He is not pushing that car at all. Not quite clutching, but definitely letting off way early and letting that car kind of just float the corners.
There's no reason to. He's still running 116s or 115.5s. He's not pushing the car hard whatsoever at all. Basically doing his job, being real nice and smooth, knows he's got a lot of time that he can give up, and you just can't throw the car off the track. Why race? Why drive harder than you have to?
Well, the thing is, I don't think I've heard him shift gears in about a lap. As he tiptoes through turn 8 to...
There he goes. No, he was definitely in third right there.
Yeah.
Downshifts twice into turn number 1. Nice smooth turn in right here. Ooh, got on the throttle a little bit harder than I would have expected, but still very, very smooth as he's coming into the S-turns right here. And you can hear that rear end trying to step out a little bit. Tires have worn out on his machine as well. But I dare say, I bet his tires are cooler than Worrell's are at this time. As Worrell's brought the gap down to below 10, to under 10 seconds, but with 2 laps remaining, it's just
Andrew's got to step on his own junk for Worrell to come home with the victory here tonight. As he waits an eternity to pick up the throttle coming through the carousel. As we are getting ready to start the final lap here as he comes through turn number 7 and into the final corner to take the white flag. 2.45 miles to go for your leader, Ryan Andrew. And again, pit strategy was all important here tonight. Made this a one-stop race, one of only 2 drivers to do so. Toll Owens, currently sitting in third, is the only other driver to have done so. As he comes up through the S's one more time for the Tango Paint, number 88. Down the back chute he comes as he heads towards the bus stop for the final time. Worrell just coming out of turn 5 right there. You could kind of see it as Andrew came into the bus stop. Worrell can see him, he's running out of time.
He's out of time at this point, but I mean, valiant effort. He cut 12 and about 15 seconds off in 15 laps. That's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive, as he's got to hope for Andrew to run out of gas right here. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Into the penultimate corner for the final time, into the final corner for the final time. Unless the wheels fall off this thing or he has a major mistake, and he does not, Ryan Andrew going to come home with the victory here tonight at Watkins Glen. Chris Worrell going to hang on for second place. Toll Owens was just in front of your leader as he crossed, but Owen with about a minute gap between himself and Austin Collins. So, I don't think Owen is in too much danger of losing a podium position here tonight. We are going to try to find... where are we here? So Howland Wolf Motorsports putting 2 on the podium. It's Ryan Andrew and Toll Owens. 2 teammates making it happen here tonight. As we are going to just kind of move these guys around so we can find. As just waiting for... Ooh! That looked healthy. Owens out of gas. I think. Or not. No, I guess he's not.
Just coasting around.
So we're going to reach out to the driver of the 88 who played the pit strategy to perfection here tonight. Ryan Andrew, congratulations on your first victory on the season here at Watkins Glen.
All right, let me just hop out of the car real quick here. All right, I'm good now.
Ryan, congratulations on your first victory on the season here at Watkins Glen. You played the pit strategy almost to perfection.
Yep. Just
I mean,
very close on fuel.
was that planned that you were going to stretch that first segment as far as you could get it to go?
Yeah, kind of. I kind of realized that I was gonna be able to possibly make it about halfway through that first run. I was backing it down a lot there at the very end, and just losing a lot of time and hoping that I didn't go up too much time.
How much tire was left after that initial green flag run?
I do not know. It didn't feel bad, but I was just going really slow trying to save fuel, so I didn't really notice it.
All right, fair enough. But Ryan, you were one of the class of the field all night. Set quick time in qualifying, set the pole position, and I believe you led. It's a race between you and Chris as to who got the most laps led here tonight. But definitely a great race to showcase your skill here at the Glen. What are your thoughts going into next week though at Chicagoland?
Chicagoland, I barely have any experience there. I got the track a couple weeks ago, and I did a race last week, which I finished pretty well at. So pretty confident going into there, hoping that we can get a good race.
Well, Ryan, Helen Wolf Motorsport or Autosport putting two cars on the podium. You and Toll Owens putting on a clinic here tonight, finishing first and third respectively. Who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate with your team?
I want to thank Chris for racing me clean there at the start, and I want to thank my teammate Toll Owen for helping me out with the fuel strategy.
All right, Ryan, congratulations again on your first win of the season. We're looking forward to seeing what you can do at Chicagoland.
Okay, thank you.
So that was our winner, Ryan Andrew. And Jonathan, I believe you've got our points leader with you now.
Well, hey there.
And beat me to the punchline. Well, Chris, what a valiant effort at the end right there to try to catch Ryan Andrew for the win. You were ticking time off about 2 seconds to lap for the first 7, 8 laps, and then it was about a second. It ended up being about 8 seconds short. Do you think it was just pit strategy, and that was the difference between you and Ryan Andrew for this race? Because I believe you were a little bit faster overall on the entire night.
Well, yeah, that's just because he was saving there. I think we had the same speed. He was putting down faster laps for qualifying and practice, but yeah, I just screwed up the first run so bad, and I just kept messing up at the beginning run and just screwing up just horribly. And so I pit early because I really didn't think you could make it on one pit stop. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and pit early now and just try to make all my time up and just run, 2 good runs. These next 2 fresh tire runs, and I was doing everything I could to cash him, and I was cashing him quick, but he saved enough. Ended up trying to push him to the line there at the end, and spinning him out and crashing his car. That was kind of funny, but sorry about that, Ryan.
All fun and games after the race, especially if somebody won the race. I think they'll be able to get over that a little bit. You didn't win the race, but you definitely extended your points lead once again. Speaking of Liam, I need to stop saying Speaking of Liam, prior to the beginning of the race, a good finish here. He seems to believe that another race with another good finish, you'll pretty much have this championship wrapped up. What are your thoughts on that?
It's pretty cool. I believe this is the first ReSURGEnce iRacing League, so to win the first one, that'll be cool. Just still upset about tonight. Really wanted to win tonight, just so I could check off the road course during the league. And yeah, my can't even think of the championship stuff right now. I'm just disappointed with this race, to be honest with you. But it'll be cool. Hopefully, if I don't wreck out the next couple races, maybe I can lock it in early and take a couple days off, couple
Well,
weekends off.
We'll see what happens. I was actually hoping to run this one myself. I'm a big fan of the Watkins Glen course, and I prefer
Yeah.
driving in trucks and cup cars, but I think I can get around here okay in Xfinity cars. Probably not as good as you or Andrew, but dare I say, I think I could have probably finished third. But excellent run. We had a lot of fun watching you. We hope you enjoy
Well,
your
wish you would have
evening.
raced with us, man.
Me too. Tony's partner Frank, he's got a peanut allergy and he ate the wrong thing.
Oh gosh.
so
Well,
he had to
get
miss the show.
get well, Frank. That sucks. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing worse than chomping on the wrong nuts. But
Wow. Chris,
You and
just so you
Tony
know,
are great. Same kind
you're
of person.
currently, yeah, you're currently 32 points to the good.
I am excited about it. I wish Ryan. I think Ryan would have gave me a run for my money in these last couple races. He did really good at Bristol. I really don't even know what to say. I'm just so upset finishing second at 9. I don't know. I know that sounds bad, but I really wanted to keep the winning streak going. Congrats to Ryan for breaking the streak, but yeah, I don't know what else to say besides that.
Oh, we're going into Chicagoland next week. What are your thoughts going into the Windy City?
Look forward to it. That's a really fun track to race. That would have been awesome to race either Michigan or anything besides the road course tonight. But I really like Chicago. I've raced there plenty of time, so hopefully I can go in and try to get back on the get another gold trophy, I guess.
All right, Chris, congratulations on the victory here tonight.
Thanks, Tony.
We'll
Y'all
see
have a
you
good
next week.
night.
So that was our points leader and finishing second tonight. And we are now going to reach out to the man who finished in third place, the second of the Howling Wolf Autosports drivers to put it on the podium, Mr. Toll Owens. And Toll, you and Ryan just pit strategy almost to perfection here tonight.
Yeah, we we didn't know for certain if we could make it. Certainly after the first stint where we only made it 21 laps, I was really nervous, but I figured I probably had third place locked up and I might be able to grab another spot if I didn't have to come back down pit road, but I had a little bit of contact with the wall coming out of the final turn on one of the later laps, and I guess that affected my fuel mileage because I wasn't able to save nearly as much as Ryan did.
Well, you were still able to hang on for that podium as the season's starting to wind down here. You're right there. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, you're right there, fifth in points currently, and with a shot of getting into the top three with consistent finishes at next week at Chicagoland and the season finale at Homestead. What's your thoughts going into Chicagoland next week?
Definitely need to practice a lot there. I haven't done very many races, but I think we've definitely got a shot to at least get a top 5, hopefully keep up the consistency, be able to break into that top 3. It's going to be tough to beat Chris and Ryan, though. They definitely are fast everywhere they go.
Absolutely, but Toll, what a turnaround your season has had. Didn't have some great starts at the beginning of the season, but you've really turned it on here in the closing races.
Yeah, definitely been having some really good runs. Ryan's been helping me out big time, so I definitely appreciate his help with that.
Well, Toll, before we let you go celebrate with your team, who else do you need to thank tonight?
First of all, I want to thank Liam for putting this on. Justin Mons, he's been helping me out big time with Tango Paints. A lot of everybody else that's ever gotten to Tango Paint, I definitely want to thank them. They've been a huge help to me and certainly appreciate their support.
All right, Toll, again, congratulations on the podium here tonight at Watkins Glen. Looking real forward to seeing what you can do next week at Chicagoland.
Thank you, guys.
Well, Jonathan, we got another one in the books as Watkins Glen is now over. As we heard from our top 3 finishers, Austin Collins coming home in 4th, Liam Irving coming home in 5th, Jackson Gleason in 6th, Pat Clapp in 7th, Danny Wells, the last car to take the green, coming home in 8th. Nick Wing did not start. So, Jonathan, I know it was kind of a disappointment that you had to be up in the production truck tonight, but, what are your thoughts coming out of Watkins Glen?
Chicagoland's going to be fun. I think we're going to see an increase in driver participation for Chicagoland. Chicagoland's always fast. You're going to see a lot of 2-wide, maybe 3-wide racing at the beginning of runs. Chris Worrell seems to be the champion of the series already without being the champion, and everybody's chasing him. But I tell you what, you know what? I'm going to add to that. I'm not going to leave on that note for the few viewers that we have still remaining with us, because this is kind of just a formality at this point. Everybody already knows how the race finished. They see who finished where and whatnot. But Watkins Glen, it ended up the way we expected it with this field of drivers. Everybody got spread out. Fuel strategy became a big event. Not wrecking your car became a thing. Not to mention only 2 drivers finished on the lead lap, but that's the nature of road course racing. And you got to remember, a lot of these guys are new to iRacing. They came over from the console series, and that's why Liam called it the ReSURGEnce, because all these guys used to be console drivers a long time ago, and now they're all coming into iRacing. So it takes a little bit of time to get used to everything, but they're getting there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, the vast difference between the feel of the car from the other sims that are out there, whether it be a console style racing sim or you know, even some of the more, and I use this term loosely, professional based sims, you know, like your R Factors, like your Assetto Corsas. There's a different feel in iRacing when you come over here, and it does take there's definitely a huge learning curve, you know, to try to get the feel of how the physics work in this sim as opposed to all the other sims, because these cars are modeled. They're, first of all, they're laser scanned, which I don't think any other sim out there does. And secondly, they use real world data from the real world teams to provide the baseline setups, and you know, there's in-car telemetry that the teams don't have access to during the race, but NASCAR has access to it. IndyCar has access to it. The GT sanctioning bodies have access to that. So, you know, all the different sanctioning bodies that have been brought into the iRacing simulator, they know what the performance data looks like, and they try to model the cars as true to the real world as you're ever going to find in any sim. And I think you hit the nail on the head that with a lot of these guys, this being some of their first forays into the iRacing world, you know, I got to think that, you know, with the learning curve as steep as it is, you know, the fact that we're seeing Joel Owens picking up the pace and you know, Jackson Gleason coming home in 6th tonight, you know, same with Pat Clapp, you know, currently he came in tonight 2nd in points. So, you know, the fact that these guys are doing as well as they are in their inaugural season in the iRacing sim is amazing.
Yeah, I have to concur with that.
I believe that's going to about do it for us tonight, though. Be sure to join Jason and myself tomorrow afternoon at, I believe it's a 5:40 start for that one. Bear with me a moment here, and I will tell you where we are. Come on. We are going to be at Las Vegas tomorrow. Do 200 miles in Sin City. That's a 5:30 p.m. sim start. Expect to see the broadcast start right around the 7 p.m. Eastern Time mark. But that is going to do it for us tonight here from Watkins Glen. For Mr. Jonathan Leach, this is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic.